There we go. So you probably heard that recording in progress.
No more menu.
So yeah, hi everyone. So welcome to the award ceremony for the Live Well for Bill Tiny Run Walk, and I'm sure more people will be joining as we go here. But yeah, thanks very much for the support and joining this award ceremony. So yeah, we'll jump right into it. We have some great pictures and things to share here.
Get it to where.
Right. So yeah, so this information that Dad just sent, I think less than an hour ago, was really cool of the participants and their location. So there are participants in over 21 states and 5 countries, which is really awesome. Yeah.
Wow.
And I was saying if I had a little more time, I would have made it Pareto because I'm a nerd. But but clearly Pennsylvania and New Jersey, North Carolina, so kind of the East Coast of the U.S., but certainly Pennsylvania. But yeah, I wanted to thank from Bill's family. So Bill's father, Bill, and mother Kathy, and then sister Alex, and 2 of her kids and husband. And Aaron is not shown. And then me, sister Katie, Tom, if Tom's here, lean in, hey, and Eric's here, lean in, hey, and Rachel's from her room. But yeah, thanks very much. So yeah, we wanted to thank the participants on both different sides of the family. So at the top is Mom and Dad, and so on the MacArthur side, we had great participation. So we have Aunt Joanne, Fabulous Aunt Joan, as she's called, and sometimes she's just called Fabulous. Uncle Bob also joined in, and then cousins. So we had cousin Joan and her husband and 2 girls in 2 different locations running. So it was awesome. We have cousin Julie, Dave, and 4 children joining, and also some friends that joined in. It's awesome. And cousin John, we see you're on, and Michael from London, which is awesome. And Lauren, we saw that you're on as well from Arizona. So really cool to see everyone joining in from the MacArthur side. And same with the other side of the family. So more names to put on here from Mom's side. Fagan and Mom's sister Mary Ann's married name is Bylas. So a lot of these cousins have Bylas, but then some of them are married, so there's even more names. So I don't have all of them on here. And McMenamin. So on this side, we have Steph is one of Bill's cousins and husband, and she has 3 kids. One of her kids I noticed is like peeking in the background there. I also have cousin Erin and her 3 kids, Caitlin, Megan, and Robert. And we have cousin Michael, Sarah, Adam, and Austin, cousin Ryan, and his wife Becca, Lauren, and Graham. And then we have more distant cousins that joined. So Shauna McMenamin and Melanie McMenamin and Mary Name Columbus, and Anne and Mary Beth, who are some of Mom's cousins. So it's awesome. Realized that all 8 first cousins of Bill's joined the race. So it was really good stuff. Mm-hmm. So yeah, moving on to the other family for Bill is the Ship Rugby Friends, right? So I have some awesome pictures of his friends that got together in Shippensburg and had looks like a lot of fun. So this is the old MacArthur homestead, right? And people walk by there. So if you're not on someone
545
iPhone, if you could mute, that would be great. Yeah, so if I've just put this picture of the 3 of us when we were little in front of the same house. So that was Billy at the time. He was going in first day of 4th grade. I was in 1st grade and Alex was in 6th. That was the only year we were all in the same school. That was as a block away at Jamesburg. So I thought it would be cool to see kind of the old picture of the house, and then wonder what the new owners were thinking with all the people outside and visiting with the flat tiny in there, but really good stuff. So another picture of the get together in Shippensburg. So it's at Carla's property. Really beautiful place, and also the picture of Tiny there, and the group planted a memorial tree for Bill on Carla's property, which is really awesome. thanks very much for that. And we also had the course for the folks, the walkers walked by our old house, and then some did a run around the university and by the rugby field. So really cool. Okay, and then we have many slides of different friends that have participated. So if you see yourself, you know, give a virtual wave. But we have multiple slides of friends, and from multiple states, as we showed, 21 different states. So yeah, looking through some more, and this one, he let some balloons go for Bill's birthday, which is really nice honor. And for this, my understanding is this is another tree that was planted, memorial in New York State on behalf of Bill. So really cool to have that. More friends. So Bill's sister Alex and Phil and Bridget and Garrett hiding in the back there with a lot of friends were able to do their walk together, which is really neat. And this is another friend that put this together of the Celtic, and as well as what was received on the flyer. More friends. This gentleman, strong gentleman, he dedicated his workout to Bill. So it's cool.
Can't believe it.
Kind of did their own thing in some ways.
They're having a private event, so they won't do takeout.
Guys can't win.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
So more friends. Yeah. So an active running shot there, and this was the Tennessee rugby team. So honor of his time playing rugby in Tennessee. Ooh. Hello, can you guys hear me? I got an internet unstable message. Hello.
Yeah.
Hear me now? Okay. All right. Moving on to some more pictures of friends. So beautiful background there, as well as Nidhi in Georgia. So good stuff. And this is an old friend from Shippensburg. So excellent. Okay, and with that, we'll go through. My father Bill will go through the awards and the bragging rights. Going on to the next slide. So on to you, Dad.
Okay, thanks, Katie. So for the bragging rights, the overall top 3 females, Stephanie Dare, that badly. First place, Lauren Harris in second place, and Carrie Shannon in third place.
That's the first time I've ever placed in a race, so I feel very honored.
Wow, it's a good time, Lauren. Do these slides go by themselves, or? There we go. So 80 and over female, my friend Carol Montgomery, age 86, and someone that those of us that are a bit or a lot younger can really look up to. 60 to 69 females, Terry Necke, first place, Paulette Christie in second place. Both of them I've competed in lots of events with, and Carol Montgomery in the 80 and old female, I have run innumerable races with her.
Okay, there we go.
50 to 59 females, Lauren Harris, first place, Heather Sanders, second place, Cassandra Rice in third. 40 to 49 females, Stephanie Der Owen-Nessian in first place, Carrie Shannon in second place, and Elizabeth Gibbs in third place. 20 to 29 females, sisters Elizabeth Morabito in first place, Jane Morabito in second place. So now to the males. For the overall top three, Ian Shannon in first place, Rage Scoop Sloppy in second place, and Jeff Simpson in third place. The
Yeah,
second and third of those are the people that I called out a bit ago from the Shippensburg Rugby group. And I must say that I told Jeff Simpson, who I had in class as a professor at Shippensburg, I told him that I haven't run as fast as he ran that 5K since I was 70.
and amazing, only 17 seconds apart.
Yes. Yeah, that's
So I
true.
would have liked to see that in person. From Shippensburg and Germany, so pretty awesome.
18 over males. Moi and my good buddy Herb Townsend. And Herb and I have raced in New Jersey and Florida so many years, so many races. And Herb won 99.9% of those. 70 to 79 male. My brother, Robert MacArthur. I did a half marathon with him a bit ago. He's hanging right in there.
Yeah. So I chuckled at this when the person setting up the age groups is 80, there's an 80 and over age group.
50 to 59 males, Rage Scoop Sloppy, first place. Philip Stoops, son-in-law, in second place. And Eric Schrader in third place.
Yep, another.
And the 40,
Mhm.
I'm sorry.
I was
Go
just
ahead.
sorry to interrupt. I was saying Eric's from Shippensburg, friend from childhood. Yeah. Good stuff.
Yes, and his father was a professor at the same time that I was at Shippensburg University. 40 to 49 males, Simpson in first place, From der Ohannessian in second place, and Patrick Lowry in third. 10 to 19 males, Ian Shannon in first place and Garrett Stoops in second place.
Great. Thanks, Dad. So the next are some special awards here. So I called them style awards. So we have the beers who are, their last name is Beers and they're having beers. So award for them. We have the farthest away, as we mentioned, the Craig Stoops in South Korea. So pretty awesome. He sent his route there. We have the celebrating with Flat Tiny, the Shippensburg Rugby friends. Excellent. So just awesome. Bill would have just had such a kick out of it. We have cousin John wearing the MacArthur tartan scarf in London, and apparently wasn't too hot for that. So nice job, John. We have the coolest dog participant, Sasha Stoops, with the hat on and everything, looking pretty chill about it as well. And then we have a great picture of the Italian stallion Rocky, so at the Art Museum there. So that was really awesome. The Melanie and Shauna and Melanie's son Connolly did that. Good stuff. And so the next one is also a very unexpected award. So the funniest unintentional race profile of Stacy's friend Beth, who's probably going to die that she knows when she finds out this was presented to people, but she's one that planted a tree also in New York, and she was going around her property, and yeah, apparently after she looked at the profile, it was unexpected. So we added this because we thought that Bill was someone that really would have got a kick out of that, so couldn't resist adding it. Okay, so now we wanted to let Scott say a few words about Bill as a competitor.
Oh, that came faster than I was expecting. So, all right. Very tempting to talk about playing on really good rugby teams with Bill, but the truth is maybe you find out more about competitors when you're playing on a really bad team. And I think I'll speak for him. We played on probably one of the worst rugby teams either of us ever played on together. Todd was on it. what happens when you're in that situation is you end up, you find out who's willing to do all the hard stuff and who's willing to like find a place to compete, even if you can't win. So I just think about things like showing up with no lights and it's rainy and cold and the field's muddy. We don't have enough guys to even have a real practice, but you take that opportunity to just improve on your fitness because you can do that in the dark. Situations where we travel, 3 hours to play a game and we only have 13 guys, and when we get there,
You go get you guys something else?
the other team's going to be a little irritated with us and they're going to give us 2 guys, but those guys probably aren't going to be that good and they don't want to play that hard for us. And I think about stuff like, I know everybody who's played can relate when you
Buddy Bill's the 5K.
trying to score a try in the last 10 minutes of the match so you can go home losing 60-5 instead of 60-0. And that's all like really cool stuff that happens with just people that don't give up. The second thing I thought of was Bill and I like did a lot of endurance events, but we never ever competed against each other. We never did anything like that together. And the funny thing about it though was that we were both doing these things at the same time. So there was kind of like this unspoken pissing contest constantly going on about, I remember going to watch him run a marathon at Disney, and he was like having really bad stomach problems and barely finished. And I was thinking like, man, I don't know if I would have kept going if I was in that situation. So that was like, that's where the bar gets set. And, it really makes an impact. And the last thing I would say is, I heard Bill say this a lot, and ironically, I don't remember ever hearing him say this on a playing field, but I heard him say it a lot at work, is I play hard and I play fair. And it just speaks to him. I don't know if he was ever tempted to like go into the gray area of the rules, but it never showed if he was. For some of us, Porter, that's hard to control in the heat of the moment, but he was super disciplined in competition and is always a gentleman. I think the turnout for this event is a testament to that. So just thank everybody for showing up to honor him.
Thank you very much, Scott. It's great. Yeah, and now for Chris Porter, I was going to say a few words about the design of the crest.
Happily, thank you very much. And the crest that we're referring to, obviously, you should be able to see it in the middle of the screen, but it was also the patch for those who had hats on the running day. And I'll say a few words about the thought process that went into creating the crest. And really, it's maybe my voice, but it's actually on behalf of the entire Ship Rugby family, the women's team, the men's team. And Tiny was very much considered a very important member of that family, and very important to many of us. So it's really the gesture around the crest is considered to be something, a collective voice from all of us on how we would have perceived Tiny, did perceive Tiny, will always perceive Tiny. And every great event obviously needs some sort of logo, something to symbolize it. And with Tiny being such a multifaceted individual, it was difficult to think what that one shape or symbol should be that should symbolize Tiny. And it sort of dawned on us collectively that maybe it would lend itself to a more traditional rugby symbol or way of depicting things, which is the traditional crest. And over the almost 180 years of history of the sport of rugby, many clubs have used the 4-quarter crest as a way to symbolize who they are, what they stand for, maybe where they're located. And this was an opportunity to maybe bring in 4 different aspects of Tiny, and maybe a little bit more fitting to somebody who was so multifaceted as Tiny was. So I'll just say a few words to the symbolism in each of the quadrants. If we start in the upper left, and really starting with the roots, where it all started, very appropriately, it's the thistle and shamrock. And many of us will recall, those of us who were there for a celebration of life last summer, so eloquently emceed by Katie. It was done in the format of an Irish wake. And with the thistle and shamrock obviously being the symbols of Ireland and Scotland. This is a shout out to his Celtic DNA and his Celtic roots. When I had filmed the brief video for Tiny last summer for the wake, I did mention that my last rugby weekend together with Tiny was appropriately in Scotland, so on Celtic ground. And unfortunately, we were a little bit beyond our playing years by this point. I shouldn't really admit to that. We would actually never admit to that, but it was more of a watching weekend and an enjoying weekend than anything else. But these are the roots, and maybe just like the memorial trees that were planted for Tiny last weekend, taking root and growing. So out of the Celtic roots, Tiny grew as well. If we move from left to right in a clockwise fashion, we come to the rugby ball, and Adcox just referred to Tiny as a player, as a competitor, but really the rugby ball for us was more than that. And yes, Tiny was a very accomplished tight head prop and an expert scrummager, playing both in college as well as afterward in club rugby and for touring sides as well. We toured together several times to Canada. But beyond his playing endeavors, rugby is much more, and it's a sense of community, friendship, family. It has a very social aspect to it. Anywhere you go in the world, there's a very important social component to rugby that goes, and also, I don't know what you would call it, sort of a code of ethics, of respect for your opponent, for respect for people around you, the way you conduct yourself. And Tiny epitomized the spirit of rugby in so many ways. It was beyond just the competition. He was a great friend, a family member to everybody, and certainly part of that global fraternity of rugby. So the rugby ball is supposed to symbolize much more than just the competitive aspect itself. And then if we move below that to the Celtic knot, Celtic knots come in numerous shapes. They can come in different shapes and forms, different types of symbolism. But when you look at the way that they're woven, there's no real start to finish, or start or finish to the weaving itself. It's infinite, and it's supposed to have symbolism around eternity. And many times it's applied to the concept of eternal love, many times in the concept or in the context of family. And that was really the intention here. For everybody who kept contact to Tiny, they know that the most important thing to him, certainly as he progressed through life, was his family, his immediate family. His role as a father was probably his most valued role, which for everybody as a parent can appreciate that. But I think with Tiny, there was a special appreciation to that role that he played, and as a husband. Beyond that, as a sibling, a son, but really the eternal love of family, which is unbroken and will remain unbroken for eternity. So if we move from the Celtic knot to the left, the comedy mask, and maybe my personal favorite on the crest, just because Tiny's humor was special, and he could laugh at so many things. It wasn't just a funny movie. He loved great stories. He loved great stories that he was part of. We probably had a few dozen a few of them might have been true. That would have been the select few, but they were probably repeated more times than we could ever count, and always the hearty laughter. And I think I'd even mentioned last summer that one of the things that I'll always remember beyond the scrummaging with Tiny is the laugh, and that part will stay certainly with all of us for forever, which is great. So anyway, this was the collective thought process that went into the crest, and I'm glad so many people could wear it on race day. I know in the Ship Rugby family, we had t-shirts printed up. I think Katie's showing one on the right side. I think that's my bag. Actually, I know that's my bag. So it was great to wear it, and I hope you find it appropriate for Tiny. And being as multifaceted as he as he is, you could probably have broken this out into far more than just 4 quadrants, but that's all the space we had. So, and we kept it traditional. So
Thanks.
that's all. And I hope, yeah.
So that's beautiful. Yeah, that's a wonderful symbol we'll use going into the future as well. And I put on here, Dad actually had it made up to a temporary tattoo and put on his arm for the race day as well. So really great. Thanks so much, Porter. Okay, so speaking of the hats, so we do have extra hats. So I wanted to let people know that. We have some about 50 hats because the Life is Good company was so generous with what they gave us. And so we would love for people to have them and enjoy them. So if you are interested in another or one for someone else, we would kindly ask for $20 just to cover the shipping and have a little extra of the remaining proceeds going to Stacy, Sarah, and Billy. So yeah, if you're interested, I'll send an email after this as well. So no need to write any of this down, but you could either send a check or Venmo Stacy. But really do want the hats are awesome and the crest is awesome. So we want people to have it and enjoy it. So just wanted to share that as well. And for a final thank you, Bill's sister Alex is going to say a couple words.
Hi, everyone. I really appreciate everyone who participated and supported Bill and his family and Stacy, Sarah, and Billy. It's been great to watch, to see all the pictures of everyone all around the country and around the world, all coming together and, doing a run and walk for Bill. It's been really great. And kind of connecting with everybody too, which is a really nice thing that came out of this. So anyway, like Katie said, hopefully we can get a few more hats out there and wear your hat and remember Bill. And we love and miss you, Bill. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thanks very much, all.
Thanks for doing this. It was awesome.
Yeah, thanks so much for participating and Chris for a late night there. So thanks very much.
I thought the late night was appropriate. It may not come as a surprise that Tiny and I had more than a few late nights together. So
I am sure, but you seem pretty sober, so
we're working on it.